Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
No expectations. No more. We are joined by Coach Sam. Yeah, she's the owner of, her own company, helping women as a women's coach. And also, don't forget, she's helping you live from frantic to free. From frantic to free. A little bit of tongue twister there today. Coach Sam, good to have you back. And again, it's Mind, Body, Spirit, Women's Coaching and Healing Retreat. Your audio shut off. Hello, hello. Put it back on.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
I love your energy, Jill.
Thank you. You gave it to me. Go ahead.
Thank you for that wonderful intro. I am the owner of the Mind, Body, Spirit Women's Coaching and Healing Retreat. And today we're going to be talking about a body reset cleanse. I'm actually doing it myself. And I would love for you all to join me. So I'm going to give you my phone number for text messages. If you would text me your email address, we can talk about getting you set up on this cleanse that I'm going to talk about. So that number is 804-837-7080. And all I need is your email address, because when you text me, I'll get your phone number. And we're going to get everything set up so you can go on this reset cleanse with me. I've already started.
All right. Tell us what it is. And by the way, it's mbswomenscoaching.com. But tell us what this is all about.
Absolutely. So let's just ask some questions. And for my listeners, if you can answer yes to at least one of these questions, then a body reset cleanse is definitely for you. So do you get bloated after you eat? Or do you tend to gain weight easily in your belly area? Do you have extra pounds that won't come off with diet and exercise? Do you have cravings for sugar or starchy foods? Allergies, hay fever? Do you feel addicted to foods that you know are not good for you, but you just can't stop eating them? And lastly, do you tend to feel anxious, upset, nervous, or just downright cranky quite often? If you can answer yes to at least one of those questions, then a reset cleanse is for you. I think we probably all can answer yes. I know I can. So at least one. Yes. So what a reset cleanse is we change your diet to remove toxins. And it's basically a process where we remove pretty much everything from your diet, everything that you're comfortable with removing. I am going to stretch you a bit. So like coffee, for example, is one of the main things that we try to remove from the diet. But you would work with me for some give and take in that space, because I know it can be difficult. So we remove things from the diet and see how you feel. Are you feeling better, which you should be feeling better? How does your body feel? Just get curious about that. Take notes. Communicate with me on what you're feeling. And then towards the end of the reset cleanse, we gradually reintroduce some of the foods that were taken away. And then you're also going to take notice of how you're feeling when you're adding that processed food back into your diet or certain things, because that's going to let you know where your sensitivities are, because you want to stay away from those things. On the reset cleanse, a lot of people have noticed that they've gotten rid of certain allergies or just things that can be sneaky in the diet that you just never knew it was affecting you until you removed all of those things. So it's a really fun and healthy process. I want to share some of the benefits of doing a reset cleanse. It can help you shed some extra weight from your body, especially in that abdominal area that we women struggle with. You'll find that you have more energy. You're going to have that boost of energy like we saw Jill with at the beginning of the call. You're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel cleaner on the inside. And you will notice, if you do this thing, if you go all in, you're going to notice that you're going to get rid of some of those cravings that you had. Yeah, your sleep is going to improve. You'll notice differences in your skin. I used to have like a lot of dark spots on both of my cheeks. And just in a few days, I've noticed that it's clearing up. So yeah. Like I said, the food sensitivities, that's another benefit. You can recognize what those sensitivities
Mm-hmm.
are and eliminate them from your diet. And overall, it'll just help you to create some healthy habits that you can keep with you for a lifetime. So this is a great thing to do for yourself. This is like the highest self-care you can give yourself. Jill, any comments before I move on?
No, I'm good. And you got me thinking about the cleansing. I'm dealing with my water. I like my hydration. How much water should we be drinking, especially during the cleanse?
Okay, during the cleanse, you would do half of your body weight if you can stand it. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, because one of the things that I'll talk about is the ways that the body eliminates toxins, and it's one of the ways is through the kidneys. The kidneys filter out those toxins, but if we're not giving our body the water for the kidneys to actually allow us to urinate and get those
Mm-hmm.
toxins out, then we're not going to get that benefit. Those toxins will just be in our bodies. All right. So we talked about the benefits of a reset cleanse. And I want to talk a little bit now about what toxic overload is, where you have a
Okay.
lot of toxins in your body. Some of the symptoms that you will notice if you have toxin overload is the constipation, painful gas, flu-like symptoms, foggy brain, mood swings. I know that's a big one. Of course, the weight gain or loss, rashes, irritation, frequent belching. And there are a ton of them on this list: diarrhea, headaches. So if you're struggling with these things, don't be surprised that your diet can fix it. Like you can get off of maybe some of the medications that you're on.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really think it's a beautiful gift that anyone can give themselves. And like I said, it's just fun to be a scientist, to just figure out, hey, what is my body going to do if I do
Yeah.
this to it? So it's exciting and fun, especially when you have a coach like me. Again, let me give that number. It's
Sure.
804
Mm-hmm.
837 7080. And all I need is your email address. And I'll get you set up so we can discuss the reset cleanse for you. If you all notice, what I have behind me is a banner that says no expectations. And Jill asked about that when we
I
first got on
saw
the
it right
call.
away. Yeah.
So I want to share a little bit about that, and then we'll jump back into the reset cleanse. But I've started living my life without expectations, and I have achieved a place of peace since doing that. What do I mean by no expectations? There are certain expectations we may place on our kids, or let me give a more, I'm going to take the kids and husband out of it for now.
Mm-hmm.
But we may have certain expectations of people. Think of a good one. I mean, if you apply for a job, this would be a good one. It may be a job that you really, really want, but it's going to be so much better for you if you just apply for that job and then just walk away from it with no expectations. Watch all the things that come to you. If you just move through life in that manner, you're going to feel that peace, not feeling stressed out and overwhelmed and anxious all of the time. And just allow the universe to bring those good things to you if you just do what you have to do and not have any expectations. It can be difficult to let go of the expectations of your kids and husband. That's why I kind of put that to the side. But seriously, try to let go of expectations in that arena as well, and watch what it does for you. Like I said, we're like scientists, like exploring, and let's see if we do this, what'll happen, and journal about it. I'm so a fan of journaling because it's like a cleansing process. When you get all of that stuff out of your head and onto paper, it helps you analyze it better. And you do like a dump. That's getting rid of some toxins. That's not
Awesome.
covered in the reset cleanse, but hey.
You're funny.
Okay, so I want to talk about the reset cleanse process. It's a 3-step phase, the pre-cleanse, and then the actual cleanse, and then the post-cleanse. Starting with the pre-cleanse. Before you start a cleanse in this program that I offer, you don't want to just jump into it cold turkey. You have to actually make space for this cleansing process in your life. That involves actually decluttering your space at home. Doesn't have to be your whole house that you're decluttering. I mean, you can't do that in a week, but just a space where you're going to be operating with this reset cleanse, mainly the kitchen area where you're preparing these healthy meals for yourself that are required on the reset cleanse. Nothing difficult, by the way, as far as the food. But you need to have that space cleared out. So if you tend to keep lots of bowls and different items on your countertop, you want to move those things away, put them in a nice place and store them so you can actually use your countertops. Okay. So if the kitchen is not an area for you where that's a point of contention, maybe it's your office space where you will be doing some journaling, which is something that I said I'm a fan of on the Reset program. So you can clear that office space out. Just whatever space may be clogging up your brain, like making you feel like, oh man, every day I look at this and this is just really bothering me. That's what I would want you to focus on. But like 80% of the time, it's the kitchen that needs some decluttering to start this process. Also, in the pre cleanse phase, I want you to have that time to actually get your groceries that you're going to need for this week of cleansing and curiosity. Okay. And lastly, with the pre cleanse process, I want you to engage in some self care to get your mind, body, spirit in sync with what you're about to go through. Okay.
Mhm.
There are lots of ways that you can engage in self care. I mean, even going to a movie can be self care for
Yeah.
you. Mhm. Yeah. I mean, I've done that recently without my kids. That was the self care part for me, not taking the kids. So yeah, a bubble bath could be self-care that doesn't cost money. You
Mm.
know, when I was buying my house, the builder said that they stopped making bathtubs because people
Oh
don't take
gosh.
baths. Yeah, they say they don't take baths
Wow.
anymore. Yeah, to the point where they are making homes where it doesn't have like a master bathtub. And I really miss having a master tub. But so that's like a luxury. People don't engage. We're so busy, 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 busy. It's just take a shower, but just getting in the tub to relax. That is a beautiful way to take care of yourself. Putting in that bubble bath and lighting a candle. So we would explore some of those things. All right, so that's the pre-cleanse process. So the actual cleansing process is where we would actually remove those items from the diet. And you would check in with me, I check in with you to see how you're doing. I want to be honest with you. Just like when people withdraw from drugs or alcohol, there can be some withdrawal symptoms when you remove these things from your diet that you've been doing so much. Going back to coffee, that's a main area where people experience. I think I blanked out for a minute, but coffee is like one of the areas where people can get like a withdrawal headache, you know. But I make space for clients in my program, whereas maybe you can't get off of coffee right away. So maybe we can try diluting it for you
Okay.
to ease you off of it. So there are some ways to get to the end result. Okay, so the cleansing, removing those items from the diet. And before we go into stage 3, I want to talk about ways that our body actually eliminates these toxins. We talked about the kidneys filtering them out, and that's why we need to drink water. Also, important for filtering out toxins is the intestines. our food travels through the intestines, and the small intestine extracts those nutrients from the food. And then the bowel builds up in that large intestine. And we need to eliminate that from our bodies to get toxins out. So I help you get that digestion going to a point, because a lot of us struggle with constipation. I know we had a good conversation about that on one of these calls, Jill, about constipation and like diarrhea, those kinds of things.
Yep.
So yeah, I would definitely help with that part of it. But other ways that our body eliminates toxins, the skin, through sweating, and
Mm-hmm.
also with the reset cleanse. If some people like to do a brush, like a skin brush, where you take a loofah brush and you just do a dry skin brush to remove some of the dead skin cells. People do that sometimes to release some toxins that way. I've never tried it, but that's something that you can do if you wanted to do. And then other ways, the lungs and also the hair. So you want to keep your hair clean and that kind of thing to remove those toxins from the scalp. Okay. So the last phase of the reset cleanse is the reintroduction phase. That's where we gradually put things back into the diet and see how you react to it. And
Mm-hmm.
at this point, you figure out which things are you okay with totally eliminating from your diet. People get off of fast food and processed food because they feel so good by this point. And also, a lot of people notice that they have a lot of energy and they can get
Mm-hmm.
to that next step of getting to the gym and actually exercising. Because a lot of us want to exercise, but we may not have that energy to actually do it. So this reset cleanse allows all of that stuff to happen. Just it's like resetting your whole health phenomenon in your life. All right. So that was the reset cleanse. Of course, you can call in if you have any questions. And let me give my number again, where you can just send me an email and we can get you set up for the reset cleanse. It is actually my phone number, 804-837-7080. Just send me your email address to that phone number, and we'll have a discussion about the reset cleanse. During the discussion that I have with people who've gone through this reset cleanse, sometimes people are not ready to go into it, and they may need a
Mm-hmm.
few coaching sessions before they can do that, because people tend to have issues with time management or just like overall organization and stress. So they may need a few coaching sessions to work on those things before getting to the reset cleanse. And it's important to do that if you need to. And I would find that out and recommend it during the call that I have, like the consultation that I have with the client, because you want to be successful on that reset cleanse. So if coaching is needed, just go ahead and do the coaching up front before jumping into the reset cleanse. Is there anything that comes to mind, Jill? Any comments?
I want to
Anything you
know
want to
what's
share?
the number we contact you at.
Okay, it's going to be that same number, the 804. Let me give you all the contact information. So it's 804-837-7080, and send your email address over. I also want to share my website address. It's M as in Mary, B as in boy, S as in Sam, womenscoaching.com. So mbswomenscoaching.com. And I'll also give my email address, which is coachsam@mbscoachinggroup.com. The website has everything you would ever want to know on there, all the information about me. You can actually sign yourself up for a free consultation with me, and we can talk about the reset cleanse if you're interested, or we can just talk about going through a holistic coaching program. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And how
Some
long does the
water here.
program usually last for?
The reset cleanse is a 4-week process. Mm-hmm. Yep, we can move through that process in 4 beautiful weeks. Mm-hmm. And it's like 2 calls per week.
I don't know. Good. Well, we can
Mhm.
do it. Let's get started. Let's reach out
Yeah,
and make this happen.
absolutely. And I do want to share that I have other coaching programs. Maybe you already feel good with your body and you don't need to do a reset cleanse, and you may want to work on stress management. But I do have coaching programs for that as well. It's from 6 weeks is the program with the least amount of weeks, and then it goes up to a 10-week program. And we have programs for every budget, so don't let that stop you.
I love
Mhm.
it. And no expectations. How did you do that, by the
Yes.
way? Is that from Zoom? Where did you get
Well,
that background? Because you
oh
always
yeah,
change it.
it's like a screensaver that somebody sent to me.
Awesome.
Hmm. Yeah, and I just was able to add it to my Zoom and get it to pop up.
Well, just for new time listeners, just a little bit about yourself. I know we dove right into the programs, which is awesome, but just tell us a little bit about yourself, your experience, and what brought you into this field. Thank you.
Oh yes. Well, I must say that God brought me into this space because I went through a lot of things in life that I would like to share with other women on, like just stressful events in my marriage. And that can be a point of contention for a lot of women. And I'm like an open book, ready to share. A lot of stress came out of that space, and just having kids and dealing with working full time, all of that
I
stuff,
get
and
it.
trying to, yeah. And I was one of the lucky ones who was able to get out of that mess. And now that I'm out of that valley, I just want to help women come up out of that valley, because it can be hard to do that. And you just need that helping hand to get you out of it. You don't want to go through it for 10 plus years like I did. If you have somebody around that can help you. But yeah, that's how I got into coaching. I've been coaching pretty much for a decade. Not A lot of it was informal, like coaching with friends and family. And then I started coaching with the Fortune 500 company, and I would do seminars and presentations through live audience and WebEx. My crowd would be like, I remember one time there were 300 plus people, men and women. They would come to hear what I had to say. And a lot of times it was parenting advice, but you would get
Mm.
those little tips on time management, the organization, because those things I talk about it a lot because they are so important to helping you get to that next level. But yeah, now I'm doing this mind body spirit coaching. That's my baby, and I'm just ready to get more clients in so I can help them.
Oh, well, awesome, awesome, awesome.
Yes.
Always love speaking with you, Coach Sam. And
Yes.
to sum up today, we can get started with the program anytime. Reach out, right? How,
Yep.
we talked about how long the program was. For those out there who may say, "Oh my gosh, that might be too much," start with the coaching session, right? Good idea.
Yeah, definitely a good idea to just start with one session and see how you like it. And it doesn't have to be weekly sessions. I recommend weekly, but we could space it out to every 2 weeks if you need to do that.
Awesome.
So,
And
yeah.
all right, because it could be scary. How are you feeling?
Oh, me, I'm feeling it fantastic. On the cleanse, you mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I feel great. Like my belly section doesn't feel like tight.
Like the
I
first
feel
was
it
it
feels
like the first
relaxed.
day or two a little hard? Like I'm sure it's hard, right? And then it gets
Yeah,
easier.
I did get the headaches with getting rid of the coffee.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I touched on that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got to take like an Advil or something, but I'm good. I stopped the coffee cold turkey and I'm feeling fine.
Oh
But
my
yeah,
gosh.
I had to take the Advil for the first couple of days to get
All
rid of the
right.
headaches.
All right. But again, I love my grandma used to say, no pain, no gain.
Exactly, Jill. So you got
It's
to go
so
through that
true.
pain again.
Not that it's painful, but come on, in life, you got to work at things a little bit, and it's not always going to be, a smooth ride. There will be some bumps. So, thank
Yeah.
you again, Coach Sam. Always a pleasure seeing you. And
Oh.
remind us again how we contact you.
Okay, sure. So MBS, M is in Mary, B is in boy, S is in Sam, womenscoaching.com. And the number to text your email address to is 804-837-7080. And Jill, just last comment, like you said, we do have to go through that pain. We appreciate it more when we actually go through the pain and something's not just given to us.
It's true.
So absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much. Pleasure having you here
All
as
right.
always.
See you next
And we'll
week.
talk soon, sweetheart. Have a great day. And to all of our
Okay,
listeners,
you
stay
too.
tuned. More of the show is
All
on the
right.
way. Bye, hon.
Bye, Jill.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.